Aloha. I was just relaxing. I was literally just relaxing for the first time all day, probably for the first time in days. And something said, get up, go outside, and do this reading. So I'm excited to pull a card right now for this special day. So in the title of this video, I called it the Collective Activation Reading for this day of AtOneMent. Today is known as Yom Kippur, this evening to be exact, as the sun goes down, Yom Kippur begins. And Yom Kippur is a Jewish holiday. It's the Day of Atonement, Judgment Day, and it comes right after Rosh Hashanah. And it is a time where we repent for our sins, but we can look at it from more of a metaphysical perspective, where it's a time of letting go. It's a time of releasing those things that are keeping us trapped in a lower vibration of fear, guilt, shame, etc. So we let those things go to make space for the new us that we called in a week ago for Rosh Hashanah. Because when we have these new beginnings, Rosh Hashanah was also on a new moon. It was also the 999 portal day. When we have these new beginnings and we set these new intentions, it makes sense that we organically come to this day of atonement where we need to make space for those new things to come in. How do we do that? By letting go of those things that no longer serve us, and letting go of those things that maybe we were embodying that are not in alignment with the embodiment of our highest self. Hopefully the phone doesn't fall again, because sometimes that happens. I have it balancing on rocks right now. I want to point out that Rosh Hashanah began on the 9th, the evening of the 9th, and again that was the 999 portal. So it was September 9th, 2018, and the 18 is a 9, so it was considered from one perspective 999. Today, or this evening rather, of September 18th, 2018, can also be looked at as a 999 because 18 is a 9. So I find it very interesting and magical that we have that synchronicity, that these 2 out of the 4 holidays that are a sequence, which I spoke about in one of my earlier videos, you could check it out on my YouTube channel, 2 out of the 4 already have this mystical alignment with their numbers as far as the dates. So very auspicious times that we're in, and I want to point out that it's my belief that this is not just a holiday for Jewish people. That this holiday, as well as the other 3 surrounding holidays, these high holy days, hold keys to unlocking doors to receive the tools for our collective ascension. Looking at these holidays from a Kabbalistic perspective, when we study the stories behind them, we begin to uncover tools that anyone can use. These tools are accessible and available to anyone who wishes to receive them. So I've seen a lot of people today, I've heard a lot of people today talking about how, wow, this is I'm struggling right now. I feel really heavy energies. I feel really intense energies. And then there are other people who maybe have already moved through that and they're already feeling a sense of lightness, because we're all, without conscious awareness, going through this process, whether we like it or not. We're all collectively at this point where we are ready to release, ready to make space for the new. And in each moment lies this opportunity, really, in each moment. Because each moment, within each moment lies an eternity. This is also all about the 10th commandment. If you study the metaphysical understanding behind the 10th commandment, this is what it represents, that each moment exists within the one. The multiplicity lives within the one. So no matter who you are or where you are on this planet, this information can be relevant to you in a way that is actually very magical and is actually very relevant and can provide practical tools to use to move ahead. Move ahead where, you ask? Move ahead toward the embodiment of our highest self. So here we are, the eve of Yom Kippur. What are those things that you're ready to let go of? What are those things you've been doing that you're ready to stop doing. Those things that don't feel good. Those things that are not in alignment, not only for your highest good, but for our highest good as one. Tonight is the perfect night to really sit with those things once and for all and really analyze them. The first principle of hermetics is the principle of mentality. All begins in the mind. So really sit with each of those things. Don't rush through it. Analyze them. The more we analyze, the more we break it down, the more we can understand and come back to our wholeness lighter. Literally with more light and more purity. Ready to embody more light on this mission toward our highest good as one. So what are those things? Don't get stuck just being upset about them either, because then you're just falling for the trap and you're going to get stuck in the guilt. When these things come up that you're ready to release, really face them. Don't just be the judgment aspect, okay? Just like with the tarot, we have all of these archetypes within us. So yeah, we have the judgment card, and we have that justice card. We have these archetypes within us. We have all of them though, so we also have the Queen of Cups, who is the Queen of Hearts. She's the heart of all hearts. You have to have compassion for yourself as you move through this process, otherwise you'll just get stuck. We need to embody the archetypes in a different priority order as we move through the process. So yes, allow the things to come up. Judge yourself. Only God can judge. Well, we are a part of that. We are all one. There is no other. So you can judge self from a righteous perspective in a way that's gentle and kind. In a way that I really prefer to call self-evaluation, re-evaluation. Be gentle, but be real with yourself, okay? Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Allow those things to come up. Really look at them. Don't keep one eye closed, okay? All three eyes open, okay? So what are some cards, what are some faces, what are some archetypes that want to be revealed right now to aid in this process tonight? May tonight be a ritual that is everlasting for eternity. May the decisions we make tonight to let go of certain things produce everlasting effects. May we let go of things that don't serve us once and for all. So when you're letting go of those things, really feel that. Really know that that's possible because you hold that creative power within you. We all do. And the more of us who do this together tonight, the more powerful, the greater the effect. We're in this together. So claim that. We're in this together. We're doing this. What am I letting go of? In this letting go, I know, and I'm making it so, that I'm letting go for eternity of these things that no longer serve me and us as one. And what's more is, as I release those things, I'm aware of the space that's being created. Therefore, I'm aware of the future that is to come, which will bring the fulfillment of that space in a way that is more light and more pure. In the letting go is the knowing that there's more goodness to come. That those intentions we set for Rosh Hashanah, or for the New Year, or for the new moon, also it was the Egyptian New Year as well, you guys. Know that those intentions are about to be fulfilled if we do this work. It happens simultaneously. It's one process. So let's do a little free flow here. What do you want to show us, universe? Feel free to connect however you desire. What do you want to show us, universe, that we need to know about this process right now? Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so who are we in this present moment? What archetype wants to be revealed to show us a little bit about the energies we are currently embodying? The Page of Cups. The Earth of Water. The youthful aspect of the suit of cups, water, emotions. We're in a space right now where we are embodying that youthful aspect. We're not the King of Cups. We're not mature in our understanding and demonstration of our emotions yet. We're learning a whole new way, actually, to relate to our emotions and our heart. We're like babies being born all over again. It's really important that we be receptive at this time and understand that we have the ability to be that receptive right now to a new way of relating to our emotions and the heart. This is great because it helps us to really, the pages of the suits are the ones who need to kind of, almost in an immature manner, just get everything out. Whether it's right or wrong is not what we're concerned with at this time. That's more for the king as we mature in the suit. The page is all about getting it all out, just being honest with what's already there so that we can move ahead. We can't move ahead unless we're honest with what we're working with right here, right now. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed, right? And so in order to really get a clear look at what we're working with here, we need to kind of just be that baby. Just be raw and be real with our emotions. So let it out. Whatever you're feeling on this eve of Yom Kippur, this day of AtOneMent, atonement, be honest with yourself. What's really there? Let it come out however it wants to so that we can examine it and analyze it from that perspective of, like I said in the beginning of the video, judgment, righteous judgment, but in a gentle way. Okay, this is what it is. I hear you, I feel you, I understand that. I'm either going to accept it and continue to work with it, or I'm going to transform it in a way that it will work better for me and for the one. Okay. Then the challenge that we're experiencing is the 10 of Wands. Wands are fire, spirit. 10 is endings and new beginnings. It looks like we're carrying a lot of weight. A lot of weight. This is the card of oppression. It makes sense that this would be the card that crosses us, the card that challenges us. The challenge is also the gift. It's also the bridge that is built once we actually do the healing work that this is revealing to us. It creates a new neural pathway in our brains that reflects as a literal bridge in our physical reality to be able to move forward to the future. So look at this. This is perfect for Yom Kippur. We're carrying a lot of weight and it's time to put it down. Because it's a 10, the opportunity for an ending and a new beginning lies within this card. We have that opportunity available to us now. It's time to put down the weight. And where is that bridge going to lead us when we put the weight down? The 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth. It's this material reality. It's this physical reality. This is the card of work, service. As you can see, there's 2 people here working together. This is about teamwork. This card is about teamwork. We're moving toward an opportunity where we're going to get to really do some work that will have the potential to produce really beautiful results, sustainable results. What is the highest work? Peace, right? So then we can have that. We can see how that reflects into our everyday jobs and our careers. But I'm gonna bring it back to the root here. What is our unified mission? Our synchronized mission is the mission of peace. We're working for peace, right? I have a pin that I wear on my bag and on my apron sometimes that says, "We'll work for peace." This is the ultimate service. And this card is about doing that work with others to produce the best, most sustainable results. We can magnify our results when we work together, right? Of course. We each have a light, and when we put it together, the sum of the parts are greater when we. What is that saying? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This is true, but another side of this card is that is true only when the other team players are as conscientious as you are. If you're really doing the work and you're really on your path, do not accept help unless those beings are as conscientious as you. Otherwise, it is going to be a distraction. You hold all the keys within yourself. You can do everything you need to do simply by channeling source energy, God, whomever that is, Great Spirit, whatever you want to call this source that we're all a part of. But teamwork is always, especially in this age of Aquarius that we're approaching, teamwork is always going to be seen as something that can help us make quantum leaps. When we work together, as long as we're equally as conscientious, we can produce far greater results than we could ever produce on our own. But again, if that other being who we're working with, or those other beings, are not as conscientious as us, not as serious as us, not as intentional as us, forget it. Forget it. And the card above this, which actually looks very similar, as you see, is the Devil. And they are so obviously related. And I pulled this card in the position of what to remember as we move toward the future. An ally, the Crown card. What will help us as we cross that bridge, put down the weight so that we can move ahead to this opportunity? The card that will help us is the Devil. To remember that our intentions must be aligned with the highest good, or it won't produce sustainable results. What are our intentions? We need to constantly realign with our intentions. And they may even need to shift as we shift. This happens always, day to day. We need to remind ourselves of our intention and constantly make little adjustments and shifts as we shift, little by little, each moment. Now, an important connection with these is that in the future, when we approach these opportunities to work with others, one way that they may not be as conscientious as us, one sign that they may not be as conscientious as us, is if their intentions are not aligned with our highest good. If their intentions are not pure, if their intentions are for anything other than the highest good than they are for the devil. What is the Antichrist? The Antichrist is simply anything that's not aligned with nature. Because when we align with nature, our highest good naturally is embodied and naturally is manifested. But when our intentions are not in alignment with nature, and our intentions are aligned with anything that is working against that, that's what this card represents. So you don't want to work with people who obviously are just lazy, but you especially don't want to work with people whose intentions are not aligned with yours when you are on this path to embodying and demonstrating our highest good. If you want to embody these virtues and you want to work in this society and in a way that calls in that spirit, that really brings spirit into everything that you do, you cannot work with people who don't have those same intentions. It's going to be a constant struggle, a constant fight, and you're literally welcoming energies that are working against you. Entities, demons, whatever you want to call it. It's actually a very scientific understanding. There's a very metaphysical understanding to this, that when we look at it this way, it becomes much clearer. It becomes much more simplified. So let's just review this and summarize it before I head out here. So right now we are in a space where we have the opportunity to really look at where our heart has been. How have we been embodying love? How have we not been embodying it? How can we embody it more now? Let's really look at who we've been in a way that's honest and real. In that process, we reevaluate self, we reprioritize what our values are, we let go of things that don't serve us, we put down the weight, and make space for the future, which looks like this. Working together, and keeping in mind that we only want to work with those beings who are as conscientious as us. Absolute alignment of intention. Otherwise, anything else is just going to be welcoming energies that are literally working against us. It's important to really look at this carefully when you welcome somebody onto your team, whatever your project or mission is, especially the one mission, to bring more peace to this planet. Are you welcoming in the Antichrist, which is simply anything that's out of alignment with our highest good as one, which is simply anything that is alignment with nature? Are you welcoming in energies that are resisting that? There's nothing outside of yourself. So when you welcome in a partner or another being onto your team, onto your mission, are you welcoming parts of yourself that are resisting your own intentions? Because there is no other. There's only the self. So when you welcome someone else onto your team, you're really just welcoming yourself. What aspect of self are you welcoming in? You want all aspects of self to be harmonious and in alignment with their intentions, with our intentions. One intention produces the most efficient path for us to reach the manifestation of a reality that is a reflection of our divine perfection. Thank you guys for tuning in for this spontaneous Yom Kippur reading. If you're curious about Yom Kippur and you want to hear more, you're curious about Rosh Hashanah that just passed, and there are 2 more holidays coming up in the next couple weeks here. If you're curious about these 4 holidays, then I recommend you check out my YouTube channel. Just search Rebecca Magic, Magic with a CK. And I think about 3 videos away from this one is an explanation of these 4 Jewish holidays that have a Kabbalistic meaning behind them, where when studied, lie keys for anyone who wishes to find them to unlocking those doors to our collective ascension. If you're curious about these Jewish holidays and their Kabbalistic perspective and how they apply to you and how you can extract those tools for your and our ascension, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. I post videos very often. Make sure you hit subscribe when you're there, because when I get the random inspiration to upload a video, you'll get a notification and you'll be able to stay more in tune with everybody and hopefully even catch some live. I appreciate you guys. And for those of you who are just tuning in now, thank you. I appreciate your dedication to the path of service. And I'm so grateful for all of the space that we're all making together as one here now. That room that we're making and letting go of all these things, these painful feelings of guilt and shame, fear that don't serve us. I thank you for making that space with me so that we can call in this new reality that we've been longing for and that has been long in the making. The time is now. If you're feeling down, remember, this is a very sacred day. What is Yom Kippur? If you're feeling down, you definitely need to study this, and you definitely need to understand what this day is. Because if you're feeling down, it's the perfect access point to turning it all around. You're saying, oh, perfect, I'm in alignment with the letting go of this feeling that I've been feeling all day. Perfect timing. So thank you guys. And again, for those of you who are just tuning in, feel free to start the video over from the beginning. Love to hear your feedback. And I'm here for anything you might need. I'm here to support you. And thank you for your support. I'm going to go do a little Yom Kippur ritual with my son right now. We're going to throw some pebbles into the creek. We throw a pebble for each of those sins or each of those feelings or things that we want to let go of that don't serve us anymore, so that we can make space for the new. Feel free to make up your own rituals, of course, whatever holds the most meaning to you. And we're doing it. Things are about to feel a lot lighter, and we'll be on to Sukkot. I want to actually point out one thing in this reading here. It says that once we put the weight down, once we let go of the oppression, right, for Yom Kippur, perfect. Once we let that go and then we move toward the future, which was the Three of Pentacles, work, it makes sense because this is very much like Sukkot, which is coming up. It's about working together conscientiously to create a new structure and foundation for our society to be built upon. So this is just the beginning. When we let go of this weight, yeah, we're headed toward work, but it's the best, most fulfilling kind of work. What do you think we're making space for? We're making space so that we can allow for our fullest presence and fullest light to come in, so that we have the power to be able to go to the work, to go start the work. This is just the beginning, you guys. This Yom Kippur, it's actually kind of like the end before the beginning. The beginning is coming, and Sukkot is a representation of that. We're about to build, we're about to work together toward the highest good. So I'm going to do a little writing about this layout here. So those of you who maybe feel you need some more information, need a little more organization of this reading to be able to grasp it, check that out. It's going to be on my wall later, shortly, because I'll work on that now. But if you're eager to hear more right now, start the video over or go ahead to my YouTube channel, Rebecca Magic, and find about the 4th video in explains these 4 holidays. Mahalo, you guys, and shalom.